Greetings and salutations, friends, and welcome back to more 40k lore. As today we are going to delve into a bit more detail on the Grey Knights Paladins, the purest of the pure, the God Emperor's sole and singularly uncorruptible servants. Now, we have already talked about the Grey Knights in a more broader context, but the Paladins are a special elite formation even within the already ultra-elite Grey Knights. And very few of their already scarce number will ever reach the lofty rank of Paladin. But first, it is your boy, Raid Shadow Legends. Available on PC and mobile, Raid offers over 600 champions, and it is up to you to level up their skills, equip them with awesome artifacts, and take on the countless and ever-increasing challenges that Shadow Legends can offer. But make no mistake, the creators have certainly not been lazy. They have just celebrated their 3rd year anniversary with a recap of the many new features added. The entire Shadowkin faction was created with a boatload of new heroes. The monstrous Hydra gives great treasures for those fortunate few with the power to defeat its many heads. And the Doom Tower brings fresh challenges and bosses on a monthly rotation. And on the topic of the Doom Tower, I have recently been enjoying my time climbing its floors for its many rewards, as each and every room comes with a bounty of resources, especially the bosses you encounter every 10 floors until you reach the very top, where the Doom Tower's master awaits. And should you wish to begin your own climb, then right now Raid has a free Legendary Champion giveaway event, the Sorcerer Deliana, and all you need to do to get your hands on this incredible support champion is to simply log in. This reward is available for new and all players alike that can log on to Raid for 7 days. And plus, as always, there is a whole host of bonus rewards to get you started if you join now. With a link in the description or the QR code on screen, you get 3 free champions, a load of XP boosting brews, and with the code MyDeliana visible on screen, you get all you need to bring your Deliana Legendary to level 50. So join up now, and we will see you in Raid. Now then, Paladins, the personal champions of the chapter, and the Grey Knights Grand Masters. The Paladins are the finest fighters and the purest souls amongst all of their brethren, which is saying something considering the Grey Knights are already the most elite fighting formation within all the myriad branches of the Imperium's military. And as for their souls, it is already a fact that not a single Grey Knight has ever fallen to chaos. The Paladins both match and surpass this reputation, since not only do they resist the ever-constant temptation of chaos, they actively seek it out, to then defeat it as a part of their 8 quests to assure their ascension to the Hall of Champions on Titan. And the 8 quests are as good a place as any to begin our story, I do suppose. When a Grey Knight decides that he might just have what it takes to join the champions of the chapter, he must prepare himself for the completion of 8 quests. And make no mistake, this is not a casual sojourn, nor is it a decision easily made, as even amongst the warrior psychers of Titan, only the tiniest handful think that they have even a virgin's chance in hell of completing the Herculean tasks required. In fact, most of them would probably consider the mere idea that they should try to be nothing short of hyperbolic hubris. But of course, it is thoughts like that separate the wheat from the chaff. Those who would contemplate failure never had the true mettle of a champion to begin with, and those who know better will volunteer to begin their trials. starting with a nice, simple, quiet night in the caverns beneath the titanic mountain Anak, found right behind the Grey Knight's fortress monastery. A quick hop, skip and a jump and they'll be there, and all they need do to pass the first quest is just not go insane. Easy, right? Of course not. I mean, come on. Do you think the titanic pitch-black mountain rising up from a sea of liquid methane behind the Grey Knight's fortress monastery is just going to be your average pile of rocks? No, tragically not. For the Grey Knight's fortress citadel was not placed in this area by sheer accident. Nor was it made to be on the moon of Titan simply because it was out of the way. Mount Anak, you see, is the final resting place, hopefully. Resting place, prison, yes, that's more appropriate, I think, of something. No one knows, besides the Emperor, that is, precisely what that something is. But it was apparently so dangerous and so powerful that the Emperor himself found no way to actually kill it, and so instead had to bind it to the mountain. Starting to sound a little bit too Void Dragon-y, honestly, but hey, a good mystery is always appreciated. And to add yet further meat to it, there is a special chamber deep, deep, deep beneath the mountain called the Chamber of Purity. This is where the Grey Knight's purifiers reside. And according to ancient doctrine and tradition, one purifier must always be on station and present within the chamber to prevent whatever it is that sleeps beneath the mountain from getting uppity again. This they do by a virtue of their purity. The purifiers, as you might remember from the Grey Knights video, are the holiest even amongst the Grey Knights, and their dedication and discipline do not merely give them a resistance to the forces of chaos, they actively repel the warp's touch. And our young hopeful Grey Knight champion aspirant must pass through the Chamber of Purity and deeper still within the mountain, to spend the night with that which slumbers below. This is the first and the easiest task an ambitious Grey Knight needs to survive. As whilst there is no threat to his mortal flesh, there is most assuredly one to his immortal soul, and when he is fetched the next day, you can be quite sure the purifiers have got their weapons handy. It might seem a harsh start, but really it is nothing more than a warning shot. Sure, a night beneath the mountain can certainly scar the soul, might drive the aspirant insane, might even cause him to kill himself or cause him to be killed by the Grey Knights who come to fetch him. But theoretically, most Grey Knights will probably at least survive this part of their journey, and could now, again, theoretically, reconsider. Not a single Grey Knight ever has, but just because mercy is never accepted does not lessen the nobility of its offering. And if our would-be champion cannot stomach a night in the dark, he's certainly not going to appreciate the next test, which takes place within the fortress monastery's inner sanctums, guarded by librarians, runic wards, and constantly maintained psychic force fields, lies some of the Grey Knight's most horrible secrets, including the tome Abilak. Very little is known of this book, but judging by the name, I think it fairly safe to say that a demonic entity is enclosed within its pages, and the secrets that it contains are no doubt significant. This, then, is a test of temptation, as it is unlikely the book will leap up from its pedestal and try to bite the Grey Knight, and even if it did, its odds of success would be limited in the extreme. But the Grey Knights, of course, are bound to the oath of ridding the galaxy of all demons. If there is a secret tome that pretends, at least, to have the answer to do so, the draw to learn from it, to read it, to believe what is written inside might just be overwhelming, even as the Grey Knight knows that no demon can ever be taken at its word. But due to the limits of its offensive capabilities, to a true champion, the book will be nothing more than a harmless tome. It will contain lies, it will contain promises, it might even contain fragments of truth here and there. And for the finest of the Grey Knights, sorting one from the other should be a facile task. But after 2 softballs, surely things are going to be ramping up very soon. And yes indeed they are. After the Grey Knight has proven his mental fortitude and his discipline, it is time to demonstrate his strength at arms. And so, the wannabe champion is stripped of his armor and weaponry and dispatched to one of the moons of Saturn, Tethys. The Grey Knight will be delivered to the planet's surface and then be expected to make his way to Lancel's tomb, a sacred place to the Grey Knights where he will meditate upon the path ahead. A simple enough task were it not for the fact that Tethys has also become a bit of a proving, testing, and experimentation ground for the Ordo Malus, which has filled its surface with enslaved demons. An eventful journey, no doubt, lies ahead of our up-and-coming champion, as this is the first part of the trials that puts his body in immediate danger. Even unarmed and unarmored, a Grey Knight is far from harmless. Every single one of them is an incredibly high-level psyker, specifically trained, honed, and instructed in the arts of banishing demons. A handful of inquisitorial slaves gone awry should be no challenge at all. And in reality, the first 3 trials are nothing more than a quality assurance test, an absolute base level to prepare him for the first actual, genuine challenge, which is to claim the heads of 4 demonic heralds. 1 of Khorne, 1 of Tzeentch, 1 of Slaanesh, and 1 of Nurgle. The champion-to-be is expected to hunt down and personally kill these foes as a part of his regular service. He need not necessarily depart the Brotherhood to carry out this part of the quest, though many choose to do so to expedite proceedings, whilst others view their quests as the God Emperor's will. And if, indeed, it is the Emperor's will that the Grey Knight become a champion, he will serve up plentiful opportunity to face off against the Heralds of the Ruinous Powers. Now, a herald can, at first glance, be confused for one of the many lesser demons of the gods, as indeed they are lesser demons, but they have been raised above the rank and file of general demonhood by some feat, some action, or some particular favor awarded to them by their deity. They are also a hell of a lot more dangerous than your rank-and-file demon, many having been awarded artifacts, or mounts, or other blessings along with their elevation. Worse yet, the Heralds are the de facto generals of the demonic legions, meaning they are not only few in number, but also tend to be protected by hordes of their kin. Killing a demonic herald might not be all that much harder than killing a regular lesser demon, but getting to them, and getting to them first, can prove quite a challenge. And there is a test inherent in this as well. A champion no doubt will wish to kill their herald as soon as possible. They are, after all, ambitious Grey Knights. Undoubtedly, they will want to rise through the ranks. They will want to get to the next test, where they can continue to serve the God Emperor. They will, no doubt, no matter how much they might deny it, thirst for the glory that their position will one day award them. And just like with the demonic tomb, there is temptation there. Should the herald be sought out and killed at all costs, even if it places the Grey Knight's mission in danger? Of course not. Simultaneously, a herald should not be saved for an ambitious Grey Knight. The lives of his brothers should not be endangered for his ambition. This is as much, if not more so, a test of the Grey Knight's brotherhood as it is of his martial ability. He is being asked not merely to slay a herald. It is, at the end of the day, nothing more than a jumped-up lesser demon. He is being asked to engage a leader of demonkind and defeat not just him, but his army. The quest is also meant to teach the Paladin about his role within the Grey Knights. We have often pointed out that the Grey Knight wishes to become a champion of his chapter, for that is the Paladin's role, not merely just to be a bodyguard of the Grand Master that he will serve, but also to be his champion. To be his singular combatant, capable of dispatching whatever horror the warp is capable of vomiting forth. He must have the ability to lead men, to organize them, to control them, to guide them, so as to guarantee and manufacture the circumstances in which personal combat with a demon is possible. In the case of things like cornet demons, it might be quite a bit easier, for they are always hungry for battle. But when tricking a Lord of Slaanesh, or Nurgle, or Tzeentch, worst of all, into single combat, a great deal of maneuvering will no doubt be necessary, especially as the demon knows damn well what a Grey Knight Paladin is, and what his aim is likely to be. There are a further 3 quests shrouded in mystery, one of which is probably serving alongside the chapter's apothecariate for a limited amount of time, as one of the most important tasks, besides guarding their Grand Master, of course, that a paladin undertakes, is guarding the chapter's apothecaries. The gene seed of the Grey Knights is exceedingly rare, extraordinarily so, and its recovery is an absolute requirement for the continuation of the Grey Knights. It is also, of course, an honor as well. No brother of the Grey Knights should be left on the field of battle for the demons to peck at and to turn into a twisted banner for their hordes. The recovery of the honored dead is vital, both for the chapter's survival and its honor. As such, there are even occasions when apothecaries are accompanied by entire squads of paladins, so as to make sure nobody can interfere with their holy task. This being a very important part of their training, it seems only reasonable to assume something related to it would also be a quest. I would also say it fair to assume that a Grey Knight's psychic powers would be tested too. His mettle, his fortitude, his ability to withstand chaos has already been tried again and again. But his ability to wield his psychic powers specifically has not truly been tested. Sure, his little pilgrimage across the moon of Tethys will undoubtedly have encouraged him to use his talents more than once, but even so, those are bound demons, enslaved monstrosities. It would be something quite different to, say, for example, take to the field unarmed with anything but his mental might. That could be a test, most assuredly so. But the quest we know for sure exists is that as a final trial, the Grey Knight will once again be stripped of all of his armor, though the chapter will be kind enough to at least give him a sword. How very generous indeed. And thusly, suitably and adequately armed, the Paladin, who is ever so close, will leave the fortress sanctuary on Titan and travel out into the galaxy. No doubt he will be afforded some resources in his quest, as, well, it would be impossible otherwise. He's going to have to be granted at least a ship, a small warp-capable vessel, and a small crew of serfs to aid him on his journey, because otherwise he's going to have to be able to hold his breath for a damned long time if he's going to travel the galaxy by any other means. Or maybe he could hitchhike on Brotherhood strike patrols. He could catch a lift with other outgoing expeditions. But considering the nature of his quest, this would seem quite impractical, as his job now is to hunt down and kill, banish more correctly, 666 demons. And not just any demons either, he can't simply cross them off a list whenever he meets them. No, 666 specific demons. The most powerful and dangerous that the Grey Knights have encountered to date, that is. Which means, in all due likelihood, 666 greater demons. Luckily, demon princes are not counted amongst their numbers, because otherwise, well, the demon primarchs' names would be on that list. And as kick-ass as a Grey Knight's Paladin no doubt is, Angron did quite a number on the Grey Knights the last time he popped out of the warp, so I think that would probably be one ambition too far. And the demons have a vulnerability that makes this ridiculous Herculean task feasible at all. In fact, some might even say that it would be a simple task. Which might sound vaguely ridiculous, but here's the thing. These 666 demons are 666 specific demons. In other words, the Grey Knights knows who they are. They have recorded their history, their traits, their proclivities, and most importantly, their names. Now, the precise power of a name in 40k has been a topic of slight discussion due to the Horus Heresy, where names, true names, apparently carry power over anyone. Not just demons, but personally, I wholeheartedly reject this notion as nothing more than an over-eager writer digging himself a hole. Because if anyone's name would grant anyone else power over them, well, why the hell is anybody using bolt guns when a loudspeaker would apparently be more powerful? No. The demons are bound by their true names as a rule. It is a part of their existence in our world because we believe it is. Ancient rituals and ancient traditions bind the demons to this because they are creatures of the warp. They are affected by us. And so it makes sense that their true names have power, as that has always been a part of demonic mythology. Now this, in some small element, renders the quest quite simplistic. So long as the Grey Knight can actually face the demon in question, all he needs to do is utter its abhorrent name, and the vile creature will freeze in its track, to be cut down without lifting so much as a claw in its own defense. But that would require a near uniquely stupid demon, and seeing as there are dozens of Grey Knight Paladins, well, the demons have gone through this shit before. In fact, imagine this. You're one of the 666 most powerful demons in the galaxy. You're sitting in your fortress atop a mountain of skulls, or perverted twinks, depending upon your chosen deity, sipping a cup of morning coffee, reading the demonic Herald as a gentle knock comes at your door. So naturally, you get up to open, and outside stands a naked human with a sword. And you sigh heavily as you are immediately frozen into place by the utterance of your name, and you're sent back into the warp again to spend another 1,000 years trying to get out once more. And this must have happened dozens upon dozens of times to them. That's the first time I've ever felt sympathy for a demon, really, but, well, here we are. However, though, it's rarely quite that easy, because again, the demons knows what a Grey Knight is. They know what a Paladin is, and they know what their name can do to them. So they are undoubtedly going to surround themselves with more mundane defenses. 10, 20, 30,000 mortal servants armed with lasguns, mayhaps a couple of Chaos Space Marines, a demon engine or 12, mayhaps a ginormous fortress or a legion of demonic entities. Anything, everything, and just something to keep the damned naked humans out. Anywho, returning to the more serious topic, once this part of a Grey Knight's journey is finally complete, and it's a journey that would probably take hundreds of years, if not thousands, upon returning back to Titan, he will finally be given the rank of Paladin, and be awarded his very own seat within the chapter's Great Hall. And he will also further be recruited by one of the Grey Knight's Grand Masters to enter his personal service and brotherhood. It's a lot of work to go through for a favored seat in the canteen. But to the Grey Knights, it is all worth it, as they now stand at the very top of the Grey Knights. They are an immortal hero of legend that upon their eventual death will be immortalized in the form of a great statue within the Hall of Heroes. And in the grim darkness of the 41st millennium, what more could a warrior ever ask for? Until next time, I have been Arch. Thank you all very much for listening, and I hope to see you all again soon. Till then, have a good day.